The only peace I have in this is knowing that you can't hurt them anymore. And nobody's gonna ever be able to fix my brother's heart. Nobody can fix that.
What's happening, YouTube fam? That was the sad auntie who just lost these two boys. And I'm doing this video and a full series entitled DEI Is Not the Reason Why. Why am I doing this? To just highlight the utter ridiculousness of Republicans and their white brethren who support the fact that DEI is the cause, diversity, equity, inclusion is the reason why white men who live with their mamas in the basement are failing, when it has nothing to do with that. Including people increases the bottom line. And they will just throw random reasons why DEI is the reason why. And I'm here to just make these crazy analogies for why DEI is not the reason why. And in this sad case, we had a white mama try to blame psychosis on killing these beautiful kids. She was dating a black dude. Take a look. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the back end.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month, I got that full. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
The idyllic image of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, a town where life moved at a slower pace, where neighbors knew each other by name, was shattered on a day that began like any other. But in the blink of an eye, everything changed. Tragedy struck at the heart of this small town, leaving residents reeling in shock and disbelief. At the center of this horrific story was Tiffanie Lucas, a 33-year-old mother. Lucas, known by many in the close-knit community as a devoted mother to her two young sons, Jayden and Maurice, had committed an act so unspeakable, so profoundly disturbing, that it sent shockwaves through the town and beyond. The idyllic image of Shepherdsville would forever be marred by the dark stain of this tragedy. The details of the crime as they slowly emerged were too gruesome, too heart-wrenching to comprehend. Tiffanie Lucas, the woman who had brought her sons into the world, had taken their young lives in a horrific act of violence. In the aftermath of the tragedy, as investigators pieced together the events that led to the unthinkable, Lucas offered up a defense that was as baffling as it was disturbing.
For years, the GOP and others have been coming for academic books in elementary through high school and college that take away the real history of this country. That history includes the benefits blacks gave to this country. And blacks have had to be superheroes. If you want to support a film studio that is committed to telling those stories and also telling superhero stories of blacks, helping to save the world and the universe, please go support Life Games Film Studio. Link is in description. And if you want to get an executive summary of what we're trying to do, all you got to do is shoot me an email. Make a donation without delay.
She claimed that social media, the online world, had influenced her actions. The prosecution argued that Lucas's attempts to blame her actions on external influences were a desperate attempt to evade responsibility for her horrific crimes. The judge, visibly shaken by the details of the case, rejected her plea of insanity, ruling that she was fully aware of the consequences of her actions. The courtroom was heavy with grief and anger as Tiffanie Lucas sat in the defendant's chair, her once warm eyes now cold and distant. Family members of the victims, their faces etched with pain and disbelief, delivered heart-wrenching impact statements, their words echoing through the silent courtroom. They spoke of the joy that Jayden and Maurice had brought into their lives, the laughter that once filled their homes, now replaced by an unbearable silence. The judge, in delivering the sentence, acknowledged the profound impact of the crime on the victims' families and the community as a whole. He then handed down the maximum sentence, life in prison without the possibility of parole. But for the families of Jayden and Maurice, the pain, the emptiness, and the unanswered questions would remain, a constant reminder of their devastating loss. The tragic story of Tiffanie Lucas and her young sons is a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the devastating consequences of mental illness left untreated. It is a story that compels us to look beyond the headlines and confront the uncomfortable truths that often lie hidden beneath the surface. The healing process for Shepherdsville will be long and arduous, yet even in the face of such unimaginable loss, hope endures. It endures in the outpouring of support from communities far and wide, in the tireless efforts of mental health advocates, and in the resilience of the human spirit. May the memory of Jayden and Maurice serve as a catalyst for change, a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, love and compassion can prevail.
After viewing all that, do y'all get the point? How ridiculous would it be to say DEI is the reason why this woman killed her kids? How ridiculous would it have been to say mental health is the reason she killed the kids and she would have got away with this? Now, I know some of y'all wackos in the head is saying, oh yeah, it's DEI. She dated the black dude. DEI didn't put that gun in her hand. Psychosis didn't put that gun in her hand. What put the gun in her hand is just, she is just a horrible human being. Regardless, the end of the situation is that we have lost 2 innocent lives in this whole thing, and she needs to go to jail, and she does not need to have parole. So if I'm going to keep it 100, had that been a black person, they wouldn't even have brought up parole. And that would be a situation where DEI would be the reason why we need it. But in this situation, no, it's utterly ridiculous to say DEI is the reason why. Post your comments down below. Don't forget to like the video. What happened in the whole case, the news anchor will drop it on you right now at the end.
Life in prison. That is the sentence just delivered today to Tiffanie Lucas, the Bullitt County mother who shot and killed her 2 boys. Our Ian Hardwick and photojournalist Addie Hill spent the morning in the courtroom. Ian, some of the family we spoke to said that life sentence did not go far enough.
Brooke, many of the boys' family members said during victim testimony that they wanted Lucas to go away with life without parole. After this, she's eligible for parole within the next 20 years. And throughout the court hearing this case, Lucas's lawyers insisted the mother of 2 was having a psychotic episode. That came back up during closing arguments, where they said Lucas believed her kids were the targets of a child sex trafficking conspiracy. The boys' families shook their heads at that, saying even if her mental break was brought on by drugs, Lucas brought it on herself. Bobby Baker, Maurice's aunt, cared for little boy Jayden too, and says she'll be at every parole hearing going forward.
For years, the GOP and others have been coming for academic books in elementary through high school and college that take away the real history of this country. That history includes the benefits blacks gave to this country. And blacks have had to be superheroes. If you want to support a film studio that is committed to telling those stories and also telling superhero stories of blacks, helping to save the world and the universe, please go support Life Gains Film Studio. Link is in description, and if you want to get an executive summary of what we're trying to do, all you got to do is shoot me an email. Make a donation without delay.
The only peace I have in this is knowing that you can't hurt them anymore. And nobody's gonna ever be able to fix my brother's heart. Nobody can fix that.
Baker's brother, Maurice's father, took the stand in a last-minute change of heart today in the courtroom, saying Lucas kept his kid away from him since the day he was born. And although the courtroom, the family members of those boys applauded as Lucas went away to serve that life sentence behind bars, they know their pursuit of justice will last as long as she's having those parole hearings.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that pull. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.